But yes, we are here with myself, with Stuart from the loading crew, aka the Skeleton 3.
Top of the morning to you. It's going to take me a while to find the accent again.
That's why I was giving you the little pause there, letting you jump in, letting you get acclimated.
It's just talking up here. Oh, there we go. I found it. Sort of. Just a wee bit.
Also joined by Xelesparza, who plays Glinwyn, the gnomish ranger.
Hello, everyone.
And today I'm not seeing a portrait in Roll20 yet, but we're also joined by Letter D 004.
Hello.
All right. So when we left off last time, our party had reached the fishing village of Lodgegob, and you know what? Before we get started, we got our new big, sexy, larger region map. Our intrepid party has reached the fishing village of Lodgegob, where they have just met with we're assuming sea hag. The term sea hag has been floated. Who has offered to becalm the ship that is our party's immediate objective. She has offered to becalm it, allowing our party to catch back up to it in exchange for Nilbog's staff. Nilbog being the goblin chieftain who has dogged our party's footsteps for the last two adventures. Everybody's gotten the benefits of a long rest and a level up. You were able to find lodging in a sheltered hayloft out of the weather. You've had a nice rest. Dawn breaks, and our scene opens.
Oh, that was a good rest for me.
Oh, yes. The sunrise would be burning my eyes if I had any to burn. But for now,
Well, you don't
I guess...
look directly at it.
Oh. All right. Is he So what was our plan again? Were we going to go and meet our good old friend what was his name again?
Nilbog.
I'm going to write that down. Okay. Just put that there. I always get nervous when I with strong consonant end sounds at the beginning of names.
You know, this is the first time that I've actually seen it written down, and I just now realized it's goblin backwards.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
Thankfully, I'm not the only one. Okay.
Oh jeez.
Apparently, it's
no.
apparently, it's also a goblin variant in Volo's guide, but
Yep.
Huh. Well, goodness me. So our objective was to go to get Nilbog's staff, but did we officially settle on that? I suppose.
I don't think we did. We had the two options, and I think we left it off as we were gonna sleep on it.
yeah. Gerald pipes up. Look, you two have done such a wonderful thing for me, getting my lighthouse back. I really do want to repay you, so I will. If that's what you want to do, I will help you out. I will back you up however I can until you get back on your boat. After that, I'm going inland. I'm going to Fort Dean to hook up with my old army commander. I need to talk to my contact at the Necromancers Guild. I need to tell them what's going on. So I'm with you until you are safe. But if it's up to me, we all three of us go inland. We all three of us head to Fort Dean. I'm telling you, my old commander, he's a wonderful man. He will see to it that you get safe passage from there to Crunkledunk City or wherever it is you need to go next.
Yeah, and I kind of like that idea too, because I don't think Nilbog is just gonna give up his staff. He doesn't seem to like us very much, and I'd rather not kill him if we don't have to.
Question. You know what? I would actually like to ask around the town, or probably Glenn would need to ask around the town. What, as far as like Nilbog and the other goblins, do they plague the town much, or do they mostly keep to themselves? Because, like, if we have a moral Deus Ex here happening, which I doubt, if we could be heroes to this little town, that could be helpful as well.
Well, Gerald would know some about that. Gerald says, yeah, I mean, they mostly keep to their little forest. It's really, I mean, as you could see, it's really me that they had the problem with. They say that they own that island. Now, Lord Clenville, who is, you know, the general of the army and the governor and is in charge, he says, build a lighthouse so ships don't crash. I know who I'm listening to. They took exception to that.
Yeah, that seems like a problem that's a little bit bigger than we can solve. But yeah, I still think going inland to 14, and we'll talk to the Necromancers Guild, and then we'll be able to get back to Crunkledunk Town that way.
Very well. Lead on, lass.
Congratulations,
Oh, good sir.
you have now gone entirely off my rails.
Damn it!
At the end of the last session, you guys said you were going to do the thing for the sea hag.
Oh, shit.
So we
Man,
can...
that boat sounds really good right about now, doesn't it, Ben?
Plans of the DM never survive contact with the party.
It's why I asked you at the end of the last session, what do you want to do? So I can plan the next session.
You know, the goblin camp could just magically move in front of us.
Just as a general rule, Glenwyn will not want to kill anything that she does not strictly have to kill.
Alternatively, the job was to get the staff, not necessarily kill.
Yes.
And we could do, like, all right, actually, I'm trying to find it again. Hello, Gerald.
Yes.
Nope. do you happen to have any sleep spells on you? Anything that can possibly handle a large number of individuals? That is not happening.
Yeah. That's the other thing, because, you know, even if Nilbog were friendly with us, we don't know what this staff means to him. And if that's like his chieftain totem or something, he's not going to give it to us. And we don't know how many goblins are in his tribe, so I think it's more risky than it seems on the surface.
Gerald says, I'm thinking, what could I do to help? I mean, they speak common. All right, comprehend languages. That's not going to help you. I mean, I can send. Okay, chat. I need a name for Gerald's raven.
All right. While you do that, I'm gonna go find where the fuck I just left my accent.
Oswaldo. I love it. I mean, I can send Oswaldo here to scout him out. Maybe you could, maybe we can catch him unawares, sneak in, get the staff, sneak out. I mean, when we ran into him before, a little illusion was managed to spook him off. I mean, I'm pretty good with the skeletons, and they're a little afraid of me. Unfortunately, I can't raise more skeletons without more corpses, which is the entire thing we're trying to avoid.
Right. And I think the other half of that is we pretty handily dispatched of one of their tribesmen, so we kind of had that history going for us. But if they get enough to where they outnumber us, I don't see that ending well.
If you guys, like, in character, if what you want to do is to go inland, we can make it work. It just might involve a little more fiddling than usual.
That's fine. like 3 was all for 3's all for killing, because who cares about gobs, because either I would have to betray necromancers, which I'm not gonna, or work with the sea hag, which would get him back to master faster, which he's all for too. But if Glenn does not want to kill, and 3's not exactly wild about it either, this makes the most sense.
I mean, the other option that I can think of is, I mean, we could just try to beat feet for the ship and hope. It's your call at the end of the day.
That's something we did not consider.
How far out of the way? She said that they were currently staying in a cove to the north of here. Do we have to pass that way to get to Fort Dean, Gerald?
I'm gonna pop us back to the...
Yeah, can we see that map again?
Yeah, let's pop back over to the region map here.
Well, technically, we wouldn't know. Gerald would know.
Yeah, but just so you can see what he's talking about.
Fort Dean's on the way.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, the road goes inland west from here. Now, if you were to head to the cove, there is a natural cove up north. It's not typically used, but she's not wrong that if a ship were to try to put in for emergency repairs, that would be the place to do it. Now, taking the road that's normally it's the safest way to travel. But
is this the cove that they're talking about?
Right. Just a little north.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we...
Are there any horses... Are there any horses around town?
Horses might not be a best bet. Mules, more sure-footed. We could ask around, but I'm not a wealthy man. I don't know what you got for funds on you.
Yeah. We don't really have much. I still think that's our best option. So now we just have to handle the logistics.
Of heading to Fort Dean in that regard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well if we're headed
we'll head to Fort Dean and we'll stop by that cove. We'll head for the cove, and if the cove is empty, then we'll hook on over to Fort Dean.
All right. If we cut cross country, if we go out of the way of the road, it's rough terrain. It's lots of rough, irregular hills. But on muleback, maybe. I don't know. We've only got the word of the sea hag that the ship's even there. It does stand to reason, but it's something to try, and I do want to help you out if I can.
Yeah, they were pretty beat up when they sent us out to try and find somewhere. So.
All right, chat. Let's get a name for a stable hand. Let's talk to the stable hand. I mean, we can talk to the stable hand. I'm known here in the village. They might be able to give me some credit. Just borrow the mules. I mean, I'll take them back for you when we're done. That'd be cheaper than buying.
Yeah. Well, if you could do that for us, that would be awesome.
Wilbur, I like it.
Yeah, well, Wilbur's a good name. Reminds me of the pig from that one book. That sad, depressing book.
He's some stable hand, you gotta say.
All right. The three of you head downstairs and... Pardon me. and go talk to the stable hand. Yeah. He's, I'm gonna say a hunchback. with a pig nose.
Oh boy.
Not like he's not a pig person. He's a gnome, just, you know, an upturned nose, that's all. Did you sleep well?
Thank you so much for offering us your accommodations.
Oh, yes, we don't get much in the way of travelers around here. Where did y'all come from? That's... We give... As long as the hayloft's not in use, we give it out just for a story.
Oh, well, we've traveled from quite far away. We had to take a ship to get here. I came from the old world, all the way across the ocean.
Oh, that must be nice. The fishing's real good around here. It must be even better out in the deep blue sea.
Yeah, we saw some pretty big fish. Way, way out to where you couldn't see the land anymore.
Oh, that sounds mighty nice. Dirty, dirty land. Hate the stuff.
It might be dirty, but it does provide some consistency that the sea sometimes lacks.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your tales. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Do you know of anybody in the village who might be willing to lend us some mules to get where we're going? And then Gerald here would bring them back, just as soon as we were done.
Oh, boy. I only got but the 2 mules, and they's for hiring out. Can you pay?
How much do you hire them out for?
Well, where's you taking them?
Well, we need to get to Fort Dean.
Oh, that's a powerful long way. Typically, we'd ask for some collateral just in case they don't make it back.
Of course. What kind of thing would you be considering for that?
Have you a gold piece for each of them?
Ooh.
Oh, I got you a pair of hand axes. You can have one of them. It's mighty fine make.
Roll up.
Also, I talk. Is that worth a tale? Although I don't have any.
Oh my, that is a mighty strange tale. I would dearly love to hear the whole story. But it sounds like you folks are in an all-fired hurry. He takes the hand axe and appraises it. Roll a persuasion.
Just did.
Oh.
It is bad.
Ooh. Boy, that's a mighty fine hand axe, but I'm afraid it wouldn't cover the cost of a lost mule. I'd hold on to both of them for you for one.
I also have this bow.
Oh my.
Would that do for the rest of it?
Gerald.
Go ahead and roll.
Wait, are we getting two? Are we getting 2 mules or just one? Because 3 doesn't get quite as tired as the others. He can probably hoof it. He's got good con.
You can't hoof it. You're not a mule.
Ah!
Alright, Wilbur nods. Well, since you're with Gerald, I suppose it's okay. Gerald, oh heck, what did we decide the name of the, Oswaldo?
Oswaldo.
Yes, Oswaldo, flies over and lands on Wilbur's shoulder and, like, pecks at him, like, gently in the ear. Oh, Oswaldo, you're such a kidder. All right, he will lend you the mules for the 2 hand axes and the bow as collateral. I'm assuming that's the bow you looted from the goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
All right, yeah. I'll toss him the hand axes.
Okay. I will remove short bow from inventory.
All right. I'm going to.
We appreciate it ever so much.
Well, just make sure you get us those mules back, Gerald. Just as soon as you can get them to 14 and back, and you treat them real kindly, please. Gerald says, "Oh, you know it. I gotta get back to my lighthouse just as soon as I can, so I will make sure it gets done." All right, you have the service of 2 mules. Is there anything else you want to do in town before you set out?
We've got no coinage at all. Do we have supplies though for Glenn and Gerald? That's his name.
Yeah, Gerald said he had rations, and I can forage.
Yeah, you've got a 2-person days worth of rations.
And how far away are we saying Fort Dean is?
Well, if you're going to Fort Dean, so this map is not to scale. Fort Dean is
Right.
yeah, is quite a ways away. The cove is maybe a day's hard ride cross country if you take the shortest path. Fort Dean's a good week.
Okay.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess we should be fine, I think.
Yeah, I would say so.
All right. Let me just roll. If you're setting out, let me roll encounters for you.
Now, before we do go off, Gerald, there is something that I would like to try if you would let me.
What is that?
Where I came from, back in the old world, we had a lot of contact with the orcish druid tribes, and they taught me some chants, and there's one of them that when they used it, the people who were hurt would get better faster.
That I have heard tales of something like that here. They mostly live way out to the west, more closer toward the mountains, not so much in these parts, but interesting.
Yeah, I lived pretty close to the mountains. It was a herding village. We herded goats mostly, and we were next to the mountains, so we had some pretty regular contact with them.
Now, I'm a necromancer by specialization. I'm not too much with the nature magics and the druid ways, but if I can help you, I will.
Well, I was gonna see if I could maybe make it to where your leg heals a little faster.
Oh, now that would be most helpful. I would hate to think, I mean, on Sally here, he pats his mule. I do all right, but I would hate to think I'm slowing you down, you being in such a hurry and all.
Anyway, so if I cure wounds on Gerald, how much does that help him?
Considering that he's ostensibly at full hit points, I'll say roll a medicine or an arcana, whichever's better, and to see if you can if you can heal up his leg, the injury portion of it.
Okay. Let's see. We'll go with medicine. Oh,
That'll do it. So he undoes the splint and stretches his leg and like gingerly puts some weight on it. He says, "You know, that's not bad. It's not 100%, but I mean, I'm putting weight on it, and it was not 3 days ago now that I busted this thing. That is impressive. Thank you so much. I am in your debt once again."
Not at all. I don't 100% know what goes into making that work, but whenever the orc shamans came, they would always help us out with anybody who was hurt, and I remember that chant. So
They sound a whole lot friendlier than the orc shamans that they got around these parts. Those boys, they're more about firebolt first and ask questions later. I like yours a lot better.
yeah, we had a pretty good relationship with them, but it went back for generations. Oh my goodness. I could tell bunches of stories about them, but maybe as we travel along.
With that, are you setting out?
think so, yes.
All goes relatively smooth. Your day's travel is coming to a close. And the light's starting to wane, and you can just see, so you've been cutting across these rolling hills on muleback, and you can just see off in the distance, you can start to, the ocean has been cut off by the next hill, and as you start to crest this next hill, you can start to see the glimmer of the ocean, and you see silhouetted against the far side of the natural harbor, just peeking up over the top of the hill, you can see a mast with some sails.
Oh, goodness, they're still there.
But as you get closer to the crest of the hill, you hear what sounds like an argument off in the distance. And you see you see off towards the top of the hill a very large hulking figure speaking to a very small goblin-y looking figure. You see an ogre talking to a smallish goblin lady, saying, But these is my hills. You can't
right,
go past.
And I'm asking. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Bob.
That's me. I'm Bob. Who are you?
Well, Bob, I'm Sherrisack. We addressed this earlier, like 3 minutes ago.
What?
Never mind.
What'd you bring for Bob?
Oh, what did I bring for Bob?
No one gets through Bob's hills without bringing something for old Bob.
What about the favor of a god, huh? Huh?
What's gods then?
Oh, they're just they're okay. The god that I follow, his name's Moradin. He is very, very powerful, very strong, and if he likes you, he can help you.
He's not stronger than Bob. You's just a little one. Bob's big.
Right, I'm just a little one, but Moradin is huge, and he's everywhere.
How's that? How come I can't see him then?
Well, because, how do I explain this? Because he exists within everything, and he doesn't have to actually like show like a physical form. That's how big he is.
You just used some big words there, and I'm still not seeing nothing good for Bob, so... I mean, with apologies, if you don't give nothing to Bob, he holds up a tree trunk that he's wielding as a club. Bob's gonna have to smash your head in.
Well, we don't want that, Bob. We don't want that.
I mean, Bob doesn't want that neither, but you're not making it easy for old Bob.
Okay. Well, here, let me see what I got here. And she just kind of just rifles around in her stuff, and I forgot to actually put her gold in her inventory. Is it okay if I put it in now?
Sure.
It is only 10 gold. Well, I got one of these shinies here, these gold pieces.
Oh, you're right. Bob takes it and bites it. This is what you do with them, right?
Yeah, that's how you test they're real. If they bend, they're real.
It's not very tasty. He pops it in his mouth and swallows it. More for Bob.
Well, What if... Oh, do you like things that smell good? Like flowers?
What's flowers then? Is they like rocks or shrubs? I got lots of shrubs.
Oh, they're like shrubs, but they're pretty. They have these they have all these great colors about them. But anyway, that's what flowers are. But what I'm about to offer you, I have these really, really nice little sticks that smell really, really nice. It's called incense.
Ooh, no. Bob doesn't like that. Bob doesn't like that. It's unnatural. Brothers doing with sisters.
I knew you were going to go there.
The low-hanging fruit is the sweetest.
All right, at what point does the traveling party get close?
So yeah, you guys can approach.
Okay.
Yeah, they're distracted with their conversation, so you can place yourselves wherever you like.
Boy, this should be none of our business. Oh god.
Well,
Bob appears to be getting agitated. It seems like he may have had a bad experience with incense in the past.
Okay. We're... Oh, God, Ben. God damn it. Anyway. Okay. We won't talk about that stuff anymore. How about this lovely metal pot that I have that's good for cooking?
You sets it on fire. You're confusing Bob, and Bob does not like it.
all right. So I'm gonna go up.
Hello. We are travelers, and we're traveling along the road over here, and we were just wondering if you know of an easy way to get down to that cove that has the ship in it.
Yes. I knows it.
Would you be willing to show us the way?
What'd you bring for Bob?
Well, I have...
Bob is hungry.
I have this muffin berry.
Ooh. Roll a persuasion with advantage.
Oh, how many nat 20 persuasions have you gotten this campaign? This is nuts.
Berry for the win.
Bob takes the Bob takes the muffin berry, pops it in his mouth, chews. Ooh! That's a good one. Bob likes that one very much. All right, I will show you where to go next. Is this one your friend? He points at the goblin.
The goblin just kind of smiles at Glenwyn.
Yes, we got separated on the road, but I'm glad that we caught up with her.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right. It was very tasty. Yes, that's worth 2 little uns. Yes, most definitely. Thank you. All right, one moment. Bob's got business. He goes up to 3. You's a funny one. What'd you bring for Bob?
Oh boy.
Oh, top of the morning. Pleasure to be meeting you.
It's not morning, it's night. You're confusing Bob.
Oh no.
I have a riddle for you.
He squints his eyes and waits.
You see, I'm gonna have to Google a riddle.
What's a Google? You're confusing Bob.
Okay, hold on. How do you get a skeleton to laugh out loud?
He squints and crosses his eyes, furrows
You might
his
wanna
brow.
back
You can't. How can you tickle something what doesn't have skin? Bob's confused!
Oh no! You tickle its funny bone, and he goes and gets him like right in the elbow, just a little bit.
Roll persuasion.
Okay.
Sherrisack is just like rubbing her temples. Oh no.
Bob doesn't get it. What else you got?
I tell you, I got to be in a hurry. Actually, I'm going to be going along my way, Bob. I've had a wonderful time talking about riddles and bones and all these things with you, but as you can see by my companions over there, we have already fed you, and we don't have time for this.
Nobody goes through Bob's hills without giving a nice to Bob! Roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And mount. It'll take a moment.
Sure.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I wasn't scrolled down.
Oh, and
3 sees mastership. He is not interested in dealing with Bob. Sorry, I know I kind of lost the good berry there, but no.
3 needs to learn to go along to get along.
Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. That's what I meant to do. All right. Our quick as a bunny ranger gets first go.
Alright. So.
Lasers.
Zombies ate my neighbors. Nice.
Oh,
know what?
Yeah.
It worked in the last one, so Glenwyn is going to use Minor Illusion and just make a bear come out of one of the bushes nearby and kind of roar.
Okay, you can make a bear or you can make it roar, but minor illusion is sound or image, not both.
Ah, okay. Then we will make a bear come out of a bush.
All right, roll an intimidate.
Ooh.
Bob laughs. Fuzzy.
Not a very intimidating bear.
Bob. Gerald gesticulates with his hands, and you hear a deep gong sound. And let's see. Bob gets a wisdom save. You're not entirely sure what just happened, but Bob recoils. Hey, you made an ouchies in Bob's head! Sherrisack, your go.
Sherrisack is just cringing and just whinging. She's like, oh, I didn't want this. Okay. So Sherrisack, she goes right up to Bob, bops him on the back of the leg with her mace, or attempts to anyway.
Ooh.
All right, that's a hit.
Martin, forgive me. 4 bludgeoning.
You feel a meaty impact on the back of his leg, but Bob is still holding his head. He seems more concerned about the spell.
Okay, I am then going to do... Hang on. As a bonus action, as part of my racial ability, Nimble Escape, I am going to disengage and use my movement to just back up this little stairway here.
Oh, all right.
And I'm just going to go here.
Bob is not happy about somebody working tricksy magics on his head. He's going to charge for Gerald.
Do I get an attack of opportunity for him leaving?
You do.
Cool. I'm going to try to trip him up with my rake. Treating it as a glaive.
Right.
21 hit Bob.
21 will hit Bob.
Alright, Bob. I don't think you'll be leaving this combat here. You'll be fighting me, my friend.
You take a good swing, and your rake scratches deep into his leg as he passes. But he's a big boy, and he's got some momentum behind him. Bob brings his club down on Gerald. And Gerald raises a hand. The club is just about to come down directly on his skull. Gerald quickly raises a hand and cries something in a language you've never heard, and a shield of force conjures itself by his hand. The great club bongs off of it with the sound of a great gong. Gerald's breathing heavily. He's not happy about how that went down, but he is safe for the moment. All right, 3, you're up.
All right, dropping all pretenses now. 3 hops forward as his necromancer friend just got attacked. Instead of whipping out, instead of like trying to do his typical rake shenanigans, he drops it, pulling out his maul, cracks it upside his leg a couple times in the attempt. The 16 hit Bob.
That'll hit.
All right. 12 bludgeoning to his knee, the same one that got hit earlier.
Bob crumples down to one knee. He felt that one. He turns towards you. You hit Bob!
Oi, shorty lass! Do you have any attachment to this creature before I end it?
Free action, can I talk back?
Yep.
I'd like to preserve life wherever I can, but... And that's where she just kind of cuts off.
You have 3 seconds to either get out of here or apologize to my necromancer friend, or I'm going to end this with my bonus action.
What's
Bob-
the bonus action?
Bob doesn't.
I'll do an action surge essentially if he doesn't agree. Is what I'm saying.
Bob doesn't respond. He's just howling, and he mad. That boy mad.
Action surge.
All right.
It's 14 hit Bob.
Yep, that's another hit.
All right, right down on his skull. Sorry, I clicked it twice. Got excited.
Oh, that's fine. It comes down on his skull with a sickening crunch. He grabs it and shoves it away, and it comes off trailing blood, and you think you see a little bone, but Bob staggers back up to his feet. I don't like you! It's Glenwyn's turn.
Jeez.
Okay. Alright, so just real quick, am I correct in thinking that each of these squares is 5 feet?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna aim for Bob in such a way that I do not hit 3 or Gerald, and I'm going to fire an arrow into Bob with Hail of Thorns following.
Ooh.
All right, that's a hit.
Alright, so...
Alright, so that's 3 piercing longbow damage, and then I think you get another... oh, he gets a dex save, it says.
Yeah.
Against the... Alright, find him here. I'm guessing that's not gonna make it. So you do full damage with your Hail of Thorns.
Okay, so that's another 1d10. So go further 8.
Alright, so 11 altogether. Right. Bob's looking a heck of a lot like a pincushion at this point. He's moving, but he is woozy on his feet. Gerald,
Can he? I was like, can he disengage?
He can, but instead he waves his hand and attempts to in a Jedi mind trick type gesture. He says, "Bob, you don't want this. You got your food. You got what you needed. Just turn around and go home. Everything will be fine." Bob gets a wisdom save. Surprisingly, Bob shakes his head. "You ain't Bob! You're not Bob's friend!" Sherry is up.
Okay, so Sherrisack would like to yell out from like this little outcropping that she's on. "Bob, I'll make you stop hurting if you stop fighting."
Roll a persuasion with advantage.
Okay. Persuasion. 11.
Bob holds his club in his hand tightly. You can make Bob stop hurting?
Yes, I can make Bob stop hurting. You just have to let us pass, and I will make you stop hurting.
Make the hurting stop first.
Okay. As long as you'll think about it, right?
Make it stop.
Okay, I'm just gonna take it on faith. Morden, guide me. And she comes on over, and let me see here. just a moment. I don't often play spellcasters, so it's a little shaky for me. Okay, I am going to cast Healing Word.
Oh, good heal.
Yeah. Bob sits down and he sets down the great club. Okay. I'm sorry. He turns around. Make me feel better, Fuzzy. And he reaches out to pet the bear, but his hand goes right through it. Oh.
Oh, Bob.
You have seduced. You've solved
Seduced.
Seduced. I was gonna say subdued.
Hey.
Seduced my ogre puzzle.
Sherrisack is not that kind of goblin.
All right, 3 has started packing up already. He mentioned earlier, the master's over on the hill. We might as well get going and get back to master. I'm quite excited.
All right. Bob, do you feel well enough to show us that path you mentioned?
Bob just points along the way you were already going. That way.
All right. Well, feel better.
Are you all right, Gerald? You had a right scare there.
Gerald says, "Yeah, I'm fine. I would not relish another go round with Bob, but I'm good. I'm good."
Okay. Like me as a player, I feel bad about Bob, but like 3, nah, not even a little bit. Master's on the way. Time to go to Master. He's so excited.
All
Oh,
right.
let's get going then. Oh, thank you, Miss Shortstack. It was a pleasure to be meeting you. He nods and tips his hat.
What did you call me?
Oh, you had to excuse me if that's not your name. As you see, I don't quite have the ears for hearing.
She turns a little bit red, and
I
like
don't
she
think
looks
we've
kind of
actually
angry.
been properly introduced, but we can maybe take care of that while we're going along the road, maybe leaving Bob to his headache.
Yeah, let's leave Bob to his headache.
As you ride along, assuming that Sherry's accompanying you at least for a little while.
She's
Now,
in the same direction.
I am going to peek back. Is he still like bleeding from the head, like profusely?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be in immediate danger, but yeah, he's still just like sitting there licking his wounds and just trying to patch himself up.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Encounter's over. Moving on.
As you,
And if I'm seeing gray matter, he might be concerned, but okay. Sorry.
yeah, but as you ride along, Gerald says, "I just seem to be collecting debts. Thank you so much, Miss Sherrisack. Did I hear you say?"
Yes, Sherrisack, yes.
Sherrisack. Oh, I tell you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, don't.
I am Glenwyn Star Charter, and we need to get to that ship as soon as possible. I don't know where you were headed, but you are welcome to travel along with us if you'd like.
It's a long story about where I'm going, but you know, I'll travel along with you as long as we get to where I need to get. I don't know. Maybe you were the 3 that he was talking about. I don't know.
Oh, I am Tree, and perhaps you are talking about me.
Oh, good Lord, help me.
I still don't understand how this one talks. Not one of mine. Apparently, his master's on the ship. which you do
Well,
see as you can clearly see the ship now. The sun's going down. You're losing daylight, but you are close enough to it that you can see it. It's still at anchor off in the water.
And it is our ship, right?
Yes, it is the chat. What's a good ship name?
The SS Campbell, since it's from Lord's Soup.
I like it. The SS Campbell.
That's amazing.
Yep. It is the SS Campbell.
Sounds good. Well, Miss Sherrisack, if you want, there's room for both of us on this mule.
Yeah, sure beats walking. Sure.
All right. You are able to hail the ship and board. Gerald says if it's all the same to you, I'm just gonna lay low. I'm gonna find an out of the way place to spend the night, and then I'm gonna cut back to the road. I gotta get back to Fort Dean. Thank you again so much for everything you have done for me. I feel like I'm maybe only halfway to paying you back, but if our paths ever cross again, if there's anything else I can do for you, you have only to say the word.
Aren't you worried about running into Nilbog back there?
Wait, did you say Nilbog?
Oh?
I didn't want to assume. Do you know him? Do you know Nilbog? I don't want to be that guy who assumes that all goblins know each other.
Well, normally I would tell you otherwise, but unfortunately, yes, I do know Nilbog. He's the one who kicked me out of the tribe.
Oh, that doesn't sound very friendly.
It wasn't. He's jealous because I'm smarter than him, and because a deity had spoken to me in my dreams, and he didn't like that. He didn't like being overlooked, and he always is like, he's a total pig. He's a total garbage monster. I don't like him. But let's just say yes, I know him. Just to put a pin in it.
Well,
we did not have very many friendly encounters with him.
Not surprising.
But at least he gave me that muffin berry that I gave to Bob.
I thought that looked familiar. I'm amazed he ate it. It's probably moldy.
Is Nilbog a menace in these parts, or is he like? What else do you know? Did we make the right decision by ignoring him?
Nilbog is nothing but a legend in his own mind, so take that as you will.
Well, in any case, we're here at the ship. Where was it that you said you were going, Miss Sherrisack? I know where the boat is going, but I don't know if that's on your way.
Well, I'm kind of just taking things on faith at the moment, and I am sure that I'm being driven in the correct direction. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, the
Stupid
ship is
Nilbog
very
and
big.
its stupid stick.
I'm sorry, what?
Huh? No, I didn't say anything.
Oh.
Now that you mention it, what is it about Nilbog's stick? Why did the sea hag want it?
Well, because the stick is a symbol of his macho-ness, and, he was kind of compensating. He's very proud of his stick, so if you take the stick away from him, he's got...
Okay.
Okay, that's what I was trying to allude to, but I didn't want to be lewd.
So stop me when I get to more accurate parts. Sorry, go ahead, Zell.
Man, the sea hag must be hard up.
Oh, God. Oh, the images in my head.
I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but did you see her? Did you look at the face? the pot on the side with the little... Ugh, I think it was dripping.
I
What was the
mean,
name of the sea hag?
I don't think we ever actually got her name.
Yeah, old Johnny called her the Lady of the Water. Some lady.
Oh, gross Mildred, ew.
Well, anyway, the ship is very big, and you and I are both very small, so I think that there will be plenty of room on it if you want to accompany us.
Sure. Just don't call me small again, please.
Oh, I am terribly sorry.
That's okay. You're another small person. We can say it to each other. It's just I have a thing about it.
Or Gerald, why don't you come aboard and meet the master? He's quite powerful, as you can see. He made me. Maybe you can trade some secrets.
It would be interesting to meet somebody who's able to raise someone like you. I mean, that's an impressive bit of necromancy. I couldn't do it, and honestly, the guy what taught me probably couldn't have done it neither.
Plus, maybe we could find out a little bit more about what happened out there at the lighthouse without having to report it to, the authorities.
Yeah, well, roll a persuasion.
Yeah, I like Gerald. He's got a funny voice. God, I've not had one good diplomacy roll. Oh my God, persuasion! Come on, fuck me every time.
Beyond natural zero.
Performance. You rolled performance. That's not.
Oh, I rolled performance. All right, persuasion. Can I have advantage?
Do better.
Jesus Christ. There's a reason I did not give him, I guess, like frickin' charisma.
Gerald thinks about it for a second.
I mean, the ship's probably not going to go anywhere until tomorrow morning. I doubt they'd try and sail out of the cove in the dead of night. They're probably going to wait until tomorrow morning, so you can come aboard, you can meet Three's master, and then you can leave before the ship does.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it's probably a safer place to spend the night than out here with Bob. All right.
Well, at least we got numbers on him.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we got 1, we got 2, we got me, we got 4 and 5.
I see what you did
and
there.
all the other passengers on the ship and the crew. But yes, the 5 of you, definitely.
All right, so you were able to board the ship, where you are met by Lord Daryl Soup, a
We needed more soup.
a rotund elven gentleman, long pointed gray beard, balding, and as soon as he sees Three, the deckhands having rowed out one of the lifeboats to come pick you up, and you come. Let me bring Sherrisack too.
I cannot wait to see his frickin' artwork. I need to know what his Lord Soup looks like.
I'll have to commission it. Joanna, are you watching?
I mean, you got an artist playing. Hint, hint. No,
Oh,
I'm full up anyway.
But when Lord Soup sees Three climb aboard, oh ho ho, my boy, come here, bring it in.
oh Master's the best. Oh, Jesus.
Just gives you a great big bear hug. Oh ho ho! We were afraid we might not see you again, my boy. How are you? Walking around on land with fleshies. Ho ho! It must have been quite a treat.
Oh it was quite a trip, but as you can see here, we are back and unharmed, and I am so happy that the ship is... Well, how is the ship doing, actually, Master?
Oh, it's lucky you got here when you did. We sprung a slow leak, but a day of hard work has a ship shape again. Ho, 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 ho! We were going to set out with first light.
Well, it looks like we beat the light here. But, as you know, Glenn, but then we picked up two new individuals. Forgive me, I keep forgetting your name. I keep wanting to call you the thing that you don't like. Could you reintroduce yourself, lass?
Sherrisack.
Ho ho! Don't mind if I do! He pulls out a sack of tobacco and a pipe and starts loading two pipes, loads half up for you, half up for him. Here you are! Ho ho ho!
No, my name is Sherrisack, but oh, what the hell? And she takes it off the pipe.
Ho 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 ho!
I probably should have warned you that that's where 3 gets it from. I'm sorry.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
3 and Soup go at the same time. And then over here, this is another necromancer. His name is Gerald, and he's quite resourceful.
Yes, sir. Is it sir? Sir is correct. Ho ho ho! Bring it in, Gerald. I mean, I'm not. My leg was just. Oh, okay, we're doing this. Lord Soup scoops him up and just big bear hug. Oh ho ho ho! We're brothers in the guild, man. Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers hug.
Don't tell Bob that.
Linwin is going to kind of go to the other side of Sherrisack and kind of try very hard to be unnoticed.
So, Master, aside from the slow leak in the boat, how are the other brothers doing?
Well, my boy, I've got to be honest with you. They're sitting in bone piles down in the hold. In fact, he sort of conspiratorially looks around while not actually lowering his voice that much. We may want to get down there as well. The sailors are a little restless about having skeletons on board. And as you look around, in fact, you do see the sailors kind of looking askance at you.
Ah, so it's more of the same then. That makes sense.
This certainly doesn't look like a skeleton crew, so it makes sense.
Oh, I like this one.
3 gives a modest golf clap to that joke.
Lord Soup ushers you down into the cargo hold, and he reaches into his pack and comes out with a floor-length cloak and hood and hands it to 3. It might be best if you cover up, my boy. The sailors know that you're here, obviously, but let's not remind them of just what you are. To be honest, they think you're cursed.
If only I'd been cursed with good looks and a charming wit.
Bestow curse. Oh, I'll have to gain a few levels for that one.
He'll don the robes and hood up and he'll just follow along. Maybe look for a light just to give himself a little spooky glow when everyone's alone.
Sherrisack looks up at. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say maybe tell some ghost stories.
Sherrisack looks up at 3 in the robe. You know, you look like death. And that's it.
That's not inaccurate. I am dead.
No, the little
then he-
personification of death. You look like death. It's not funny if I have to explain it.
he laughs.
Sherrisack just drinks something.
Now, Sherrisack, this ship is bound for Crunkledunk City. Is that someplace you're keen to travel with us? And you too, of course, Gerald. Thank you so much for helping my boy. You're welcome to travel with us as well.
Well, I'm kind of just going where things take me. I really don't want to really push more on that but yeah, Crunkledunk should be fine. There's places there that I'd like to visit, definitely.
Ho, going where the wind may take you. I respect that.
Well, Gerald said he needed to get to some fort where all the necromancers are gathering. Do we have time to perhaps either help him along his way or get him there ourselves?
Oh, ho. Would you be going to Fort Dean, Gerald? That was the plan. It's where the guild house is, and also, not for nothing. Hey, Gerald seems almost nervous around Lord Soup, being around a higher level necromancer, a higher ranked necromancer. But in the war, I did serve under General Clenville, so I was hoping to speak to him again. Soup says, "Oh ho, then you should come with us. Oh ho, it's not much farther overland from Crunkledunk City, and you may find something to occupy your time along the way."
That should be much safer to travel a boat, and instead of by yourself where Nilbog is after you.
Gerald's...
Is the lighthouse gonna be okay being, like, completely unmanned the way it is, though? Because we kind of did kill all your skeletons who were there.
Gerald thinks, he says, "Yeah, well, I suppose I'm safe enough now. I mean, I'm aboard the boat, I've got all of you around me. I don't like to do this, but, I mean, even going off overland to Fort Dean, I would leave the lighthouse unmanned for a good couple weeks, and that's not great. Yeah, I think it's the only way. Oswaldo, come here." Oswaldo had been off in a corner pecking at some grain, but he flaps back over and perches on Gerald's shoulder. Gerald whispers into his ear, "Okay." Oswaldo flies out the... Gerald opens up the hatch back to above decks, and Oswaldo flies out above decks. Gerald says, "Would any of you have, Lord Soup, would you have anything like a stick or a staff that I could use just for the time being?" Lord Soup rummages around and finds just a spare piece of scrap lumber in a corner. "Thank you, that'll do." And Gerald reaches out to try to touch it, and finally he grabs it. You realize Gerald can't see. He's acting as though he's blind now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask for a little extra help, but Oswaldo there, he's not a normal raven, he's a familiar. Gerald flips up, just pushes up his dark glasses, and you can see his eyes are milky white. When he's with me, he's my eyes, but I had to send him to go go carry a message, go find a replacement to go keep the lighthouse while I'm away. He'll be back in a few days, but until he's back, this is what I got to work with.
I guess that means I can't. I need to tell you what I actually roll when I roll my bones.
I'll make sure he's not cheating, don't worry.
Thank you. I thought it would be rude to ask.
Is there something, Master? Is there something we can do to possibly help Gerald aboard? I mean, I don't mind walking him around, but is there anything we could do about for his eyes or anything about that?
Oh, ho, ho, ho. He's the way the gods made him, my boy. There's no cure spell for that.
No, there really isn't. I've tried. Sherrisack is just nonplussed about everything and just drinking.
All right, I guess I'll be... You know, I can't think of a pun for that. I'll just be sticking by you for the rest of the trip.
Well, thank you, 3. I would appreciate that. You notice that's the first time he's ever used your name.
He said my name. Now, granted, he said it like 3 as in the number 3, but I was saying like 3, like... He said my name.
Well, you do have a way of growing on people.
Oh, when things grow on bones, it's normally a bad thing. But I am quite excited for our next part of our journey. Speaking of which, are we heading straight to Grunkledunk, or are we going somewhere else?
That's the plan, my boy, although this particular journey, it's not as though much has gone to plan. Ho, 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 ho.
What time in the day is it? Is it approaching evening? Is it still mid-afternoon? Or is it like, what time is it?
Yeah, it is past dark. Like, at this point, it's about time for everybody to have a meal and turn in.
Okay. I'll stand guard by just looking out the window. Is looking out a port or whatever, would that point me towards the beach or the ocean?
Well, you're in a harbor, so I'm gonna say through either port or starboard side you can see to land. You would have to go up above decks because you are kind of like pointed east towards the ocean. If you wanted to look out at the ocean, you'd have to go above deck.
Master, permission to go aboard up top in order to keep an eye out. I just have a sneaky feeling that we won't be hearing the end of Needlebug this evening.
Oh ho ho! To be honest, my boy, I think it's best that you at least stay down here for the time being. As I said, the sailors, they're a superstitious lot, and, well, don't take it amiss, but I think they blame you for all the mishaps. They think you're cursed. Oh ho ho ho!
That does dishearten him a little bit. He says, okay, Master, I understand. Permission to become a pile of bones then while everyone eats.
Oh, of course, my boy.
I'll be taking me rest. He pulls out his sign with the Z's on it and then goes into a corner and crumples down.
Like right there on deck, or would you go
No,
back
we're in our room.
Yeah, we're
in our room.
below deck right now, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. So at this point, everybody gets to have a nice rest. You are back aboard the ship where your provisions are provided for. I see those Z's. The next day dawns, and you set out again on your ocean journey. Everybody can have anybody who needs it can have the benefit of a long rest. I think that'll give Glynwyn her spell slots back. I think other than that, you're pretty all right.
I used my action surge, so I get that back.
Yep, you get that back. But
Okay.
as your oversea journey continues, as you're just pitching in with the shipboard chores and just partaking in life aboard ship, you definitely notice that Soup was not imagining things. Anytime the sailors see 3 up and moving around, they grumble and eye him real suspiciously. And after only a couple days of sailing, the seas get very calm, and you're having to go oars out instead of relying on the sails just to make any headway. And the ocean, it starts the second day and just grows more and more. You're overcome by this fog until it's eventually very, very thick. You can't see... The navigator is going purely by instruments. You can't even see the stars.
Oh.
And the longer it goes on like that, the longer the harder the sailors grumble. 3, your 4 brothers are... The first day, Soup tried to have them out to pitch in aboard ship, and the sailors didn't take kindly to that, so eventually Lord Soup just has them stay crumpled up in their pile of bone forms in the corner at all times, just to avoid provoking the sailors.
Mm-hmm. Would I be required to do that as well? It's fine if 3 has to be inactive for a few days, but yeah.
Yeah. So after a couple days of this, you've just been... Lord Soup has asked you to kind of... He hasn't ordered you to stay... to stay entirely inactive the way your brothers who are non-thinking, non-speaking, I mean, it doesn't bother them at all. But for you, it would be the equivalent of like a child being sent to their room for literally 3 days straight with no human contact. It would be an imposition.
Inhumane.
Yeah. And he hasn't asked you to do that, but he's asked you to kind of keep to yourself and interact with the sailors as little as possible.
All right. I'll offer Gerald, do you need someone to write for you? I can read and write, I think. Assuming that's... Yeah, he's a manager type. Absolutely, yeah, he can. Yeah.
That is amazing. A skeleton that can talk and read and write. I have never heard the like.
Oh, I think I'm just I think Master just put a little bit more elbow grease into me, but as you can see, I'm completely dry, so who's to say?
Alright, so you, Gerald spends the rest of the day narrating his memoirs to you. He talks about the final big battle of the war against Albion, when Dunkland, which is Crunkledunk City and the surrounding countryside, all of the Great Dragon Crunkledunk's territory, was allied with the baronies against the Empire of Albion. The final stand, which was the siege of Crunkledunk City itself. Crunkledunk would not allow any of the skeletons from the baronies, would not allow any skeletons or zombies, even from his allies, into his territory. And so the Necromancer Barons left all of their skeleton hordes back home to guard the home front and marched only the living soldiers north. And the great sacrifice, when flesh and blood, gnomes, dwarves, halflings all march north and shed actual blood, not just non-flowing zombie blood, for their northern allies. So that's how you and Gerald pass the time during the voyage. Glynwyn and Sherrisack, is there anything in particular that you would be doing during this travel time?
Sherrisack's just doing like a lot of prayer, a lot of almost meditating in a way. Just kind of trying to figure out why she's been like compelled to go this direction, and if there's that. There's a motorcycle going around outside. But yeah, that motorcycle just threw me right off. That's what she does.
All right. Glynwyn, is there anything particular you do to pass your time?
Just trying to remember the other orcish chants that I recall from the tribes that would visit the town that I lived in back in the old world.
Yep, you're able to recall more of the chants to your mind. You usually you would be syncing these rituals with the trees and the plant life around you in the forests and the grasslands where the orcs make their homes. At this point, obviously you're aboard ship. There's not that same natural world around you. What you can do, though, at least for the first couple days, is observe the positions of the stars, which is something else that they taught you before the fog sets in too much. And that first night when you're still within sight of land, you remember that almost aurora borealis effect that you saw around the sea hag's hut that was running east-west. You can see that receding to the south, extending along the water, but this time you can also see another glowing line like that running northwest to southeast. That is, you can see it. You can see it just crossing along the land, back along shore, before you get too far out to sea. The second night, you're not sure if you can even see it anymore, or if it's just your imagination as you gaze back towards shore.
Okay.
On the third night out, as everybody is asleep and three, you're resting in your bone pile state, you're suddenly called back to wakefulness by Lord Soup. He nudges your little bone pile. And
three will spring up.
As soon as he sees you spring up, he holds up a hand and he looks left and right, and then holds a finger to his lips, and then beckons you to follow him.
He will do so.
Lord Soup takes you above deck, and he leads you to one of the lifeboats. And he climbs aboard and beckons you to follow.
Looks into the lifeboat. It's just me and Soup, right?
Yep, just you and Soup.
He opens his mouth for a second to question, but clamps shut as he hops in, or carefully.
Lord Soup nods to you and kind of pats you on the shoulder. And he lowers the lifeboat down into the water and rows a little bit, a little ways away from the ship. Then he reaches into his robes and he pulls out a wand. He's got like a hooded lantern in the prow of the lifeboat, and you can just barely see him pull out this wand and tap it against the side of his neck. And then he stands up and beckons for you to follow him again and steps over the lifeboat. And just steps out and drops into the water like a stone.
He'll do that. He makes sure that he has his weapons on him so he sinks as quickly. And he will drop as well.
As you sink down into the depths, you feel Lord Soup wrap his hand around your wrist, so you can tell he's right there beside you as you sink down. You sink and sink for what feels like forever. And the blackness of the sea covers you. You cannot see anything in any direction. But until after what feels like an eternity of just sinking, you start to see, at first you see Lord Soup's hand still holding onto your wrist. And then slowly you can see his silhouette. And then you notice that the sea around you is lit up by this bioluminescent algae around you.
Mm-hmm.
As the two of you float down and settle to the sea floor. Lord Soup leads you forward. And in front of you, you see just a massive silhouette, this massive dome with almost a smaller dome-shaped entrance. And when I say massive, I mean this dome looks to be the size of a sizable city. And it's got towers poking up from the top in like this jagged, almost like spiny pattern coming up from the dome. It almost looks like a hedgehog, but the spines are buildings.
I'll look. Soup's got one of my hands. With the other, I'll grab one of the arrows from like my pouch and hold it like a dagger, just in case.
Lord Soup doesn't seem concerned. He just walks forward as if he were walking down the lane to his farmhouse any old night of the week. He walks ahead through this giant arch-shaped gate. And as you walk through, you see almost like a lozenge shape ahead of you. As you pass through the Great Arch, and when I say Great Arch, this is... You could drive 5 huge, like, wagons pulled by a full team of horses through this archway, side to side to side, and they'd still have room on either side. And the lozenge shape is almost the same size. It looks like it could fit through the Great Arch, like just push through it. And as you get closer, you see 2 oval holes in either side, and suddenly it clicks. What you're seeing is the giant skull of a turtle. You're walking into its shell.
Oh. Okay.
Lord Soup leads you on into the middle of this giant turtle skeleton. The bioluminescent algae is floating around, and you can see other shapes just swimming here and there among the bones of this massive turtle. You're not sure if they look like human-sized fish, or maybe humanoids with fishy features, but you can only see their silhouettes, so it's hard to see with only the faint glow of this algae to light the way. But finally you get to what seems to be the center of the turtle's rib cage, and there's a shape there, a great shape. At first it seems almost like a circle, and then it uncoils and swims around. It's so large you would have, if the turtle were alive, you might have thought it was its heart.
Mm-hmm.
and you hear a voice in your mind. You can tell it's coming from this. It almost looks like an eel-shaped figure with its tail split into multiple tentacles, and it speaks into your mind. This is the one. You have brought him. Lord Soup nods. Speak in your mind, 3, and I will hear your thoughts.
Hello.
Oh, it is true then. A skeleton who can think and speak. That is a novelty, is it not?
Well, I suppose I've always been able to do it. I think I just suspected Master was quite talented. I just assumed. Oh, I'm making quite an ass out of myself right now, aren't I?
Your master has given you leave to travel by yourself for a time, away from him on the surface land. Tell me, did you enjoy your adventure?
Oh, yes, I suppose I did. It was quite fun. I got to meet all kinds of exciting fleshy folk. Like our commander or captain, or I don't know what her title was, but Glyn was quite delightful, although a little toothless in some occasions. I met this. Oh, she doesn't like to be called short. I met another goblin, a friendly one, unlike the compensating goblin, Needlebug. He was quite naughty. And then I met another necromancer. His name was Gerald, and he was quite fun. He's got a silly voice. Not quite as silly as mine, but quite fun.
Good, good. It pleases me that you have enjoyed yourself. I, 3. Ooh, Minnie doesn't like the spooky eel monster. I am known as the Lord of the Waters. As your master is to you, so I am to your master. Is it not so, Lord Soup? Lord Soup nods quietly. Actually, he's been very quiet the whole time, because he's underwater and he can't speak.
Oh, is this the bit of foreshadowing I saw earlier? Were all these skeletons the mindless ones coming to you?
Ah, that is a riddle, is it not? Where do they go? Have you seen skeletons in my great city?
Well, I don't... did I?
Nope.
I don't think... Oh, that's a good point. I didn't see them. Oh, that is quite a conundrum.
Yes. A skeleton who can think and speak for itself. A novelty, yes. However, a skeleton who could raise skeletons of his own. Now that would be a marvel, wouldn't it? It is my wish, 3, that you learn something of the ways of magic. Take this talisman. A circular disc floats down out of the eel creature's coils toward you.
I look at Master Soup and wait for his approval.
Soup nods.
I will reach out and grab the talisman.
As soon as you take hold of it, you see your hand.
Sorry, I'm looking at chat. Go ahead.
As soon as you take hold of it, your hand begins to change. Or rather, you see your hand begin to change. Flesh forms around it and moves up your arm. It looks like a fleshy person's arm, but it doesn't feel any different. You don't feel anything, you just see the difference.
Oh, okay. And it's just up my arm, correct? Not throughout my. I look throughout the rest of my body.
You look down at the rest of your body, and you see. You have grown a great rotund belly, and you appear to be wearing robes, but you don't feel them against you.
Oh, Master! I suppose we do look a little bit like each other. How appropriate!
The voice speaks in your Yeah, Lord Soup is just looking at you, seeming pretty nonplussed. But the voice speaks in your head again. The power of the talisman will fade the farther you travel from my dominion. But it should suffice to get you through the Dragon City unnoticed.
Oh, I heard earlier we weren't allowed there, not even for special circumstances, so I do need a disguise. Is that right?
It is.
Well, then I thank you for providing it. This will be quite helpful. I am grateful for your gift.
Present the talisman to a halfling named Smitty McGillicuddy in Crunkledunk City. He will have further instructions for you.
Very well. I will do as my master commands. Which I suppose, since you're his master, he just bows awkwardly.
Yes. You have done well, Lord Soup, to create such a useful servant. The secrets of such magics must be known to us. 3. Your master will remain with us here for a time. Lord Soup's eyes go wide. He was not expecting this. Return to your ship and tell no one what has transpired here. 2 fishy humanoids.
Okay. Okay, yeah. A fishy humanoid comes. Do I have? I do. I specified I have my weapons.
Yep.
I'll actually draw, like, holding arrow in one hand, like a backwards dagger, and rake in the other, like trying to hold back the fishies.
They swim and sort of park themselves to either side of you, not facing you, but flanking you like honor guards. Lord Soup sees you clutching your weapons, and his eyes go even wider, and he shakes his head at you. Just silently shakes his head no.
He'll try to say, "But master, I don't feel right leaving you here."
He just looks at you and sort of shrugs.
Did the creature introduce itself?
He said it was known as the Lord of the Waters.
Lord of the Waters, I will do as ye commands, but I need guarantee that my master is going to be safe.
Loyalty is commendable. Lord Soup will come to no harm so long as he keeps faith with me, and so long as he remains with me in my dominion.
Very well. Do you have a suggestion on what do I say to the others?
You are
Their important Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Their important patron, who is footing the bill, might I add, is suddenly missing. Might impede my quest to go see Smitty.
But don't you understand, 3? And it gestures at Ed with a tentacle up and down at you. Lord Soup is not missing. He never left the ship.
Oh, he is caught so off guard by that. I believe the fishies could scoop him up pretty quickly.
They guide you back outside the giant turtle skeleton, and they have what looks like a palanquin, but instead of a flat wooden platform, it's more like a mesh hammock, and they gesture for you to climb in it.
I will do so.
They swim you back up to the surface and tuck you back into the lifeboat, and then swim away. And that's where we're gonna call it for this session.
Woo! Oh, that's juicy. That's juicy.